Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I am Wan Najwa Encik Kawari, undergraduate student in Bachelor of Biotechnology from University of Malaya. Without wasting more time, we will start presenting our aquaculture nutrition assignment entitled Alternative Animal Protein Source to Replace Fish Meal in Shrimp Diet.
Introduction.
As a result of the scarceness of fish meal and higher demand, finally resulting in high prices of this essential protein source, researchers then find ways to replace fish meal with other protein sources. Vegetables have been used as the alternative of protein source, but the main nutritional problems associated with the use of high levels of vegetable proteins that have been used in aquaculture industry become a concern, which are unbalanced amino acid profile, lower digestibility of amino acids, high fiber content, presence of anti-nutritional factors, and low availability of phosphorus. Processed animal proteins are a valuable source of proteins and are the best alternative protein source in those diets. Figure 1 shows the high demand and the price increasement of fish meal in 2012 by World Bank Commodity Price Data 2012. Figure 2 shows the case studies of fish meal replacement in the diets for fed aquaculture species. Next is the characteristic of PAP. PAP have low fiber content. A high fiber content complicates the production of water-stable shrimp feeds. Second, its sustainability. PAP is a sustainable protein source as it can be locally available. Third, presence of digestible phosphorus and calcium. Phosphorus digestibility is a major challenge in aqua feed formulation. Poultry meal has a higher availability of phosphorus. As a consequence, faces of shrimp will contain less phosphorus, and finally it will reduce the algal blooms. And finally, it has partially soluble proteins. PAP contains important amount of water-soluble protein in the form of peptides or longer chains. These water-soluble proteins are highly digestible and also improve the attractability and palatability of feed, which is essential for shrimp which only have a rudimentary intestinal tract.
So, why alternative fish meal is important? So, firstly, shrimp or any aquatic animal need an adequate nutrition and organoleptically pleasing diet, which is essential to achieve satisfactory intake and growth in shrimp. Secondly, it is to avoid food waste and food loss. Next, I, Nur Hazira binti Ghaffar, will be presenting on the areas covered in alternative animal protein source to replace fish meal in shrimp diet. Firstly, we need to know about the nutrient requirements in shrimp diet, especially for protein. Protein is the most expensive nutrient in practical diets for shrimp culture, of which fish meal is the most commonly used protein source in the commercial feeds. Some studies have been conducted to evaluate the effects of different protein levels and sources on shrimp. The alternative sources of protein other than animal protein source include plant protein source, microbial protein source, carbohydrate, lipids, and fatty acids. Processed animal proteins PAPs for shrimp feed. Animal protein source, which consists of pork and poultry meal, are high-quality protein sources and the first alternative for fish meal in shrimp feeds. They are very well digested by shrimp, contain a lot of interesting nutrients, and are a better alternative than vegetable protein sources. They are low in fiber content and contain better digestible phosphorus. Why PAPs are the first protein sources to be used to replace fish meal in shrimp diets? First reason is sustainability. Use of PAPs considerably reduces the carbon footprint of aqua feeds. The carbon footprint of PFPs is much lower than vegetable meals footprints. Second, high protein and amino acid content. PFPs are rich in most essential amino acids. They are particularly high in arginine and other water-soluble amino acids, which act as attractant and pelletant for shrimp. Third, digestible protein. Poultry byproduct meals have a higher digestibility than soybean meal and fish meal. Fourth, low fiber content. A high fiber content complicates the production of water-stable shrimp feeds. Animal proteins contain very small amounts of fibers. In contrast to vegetable proteins, they are generally high in fiber. Fifth, partially soluble proteins. These water-soluble proteins are highly digestible, but also improve the attractability and palatability of the feeds. Other than that, is the presence of digestible phosphorus and calcium. The phosphorus present in pork and poultry meal has a higher availability. As a consequence, the feces of shrimp fed with more animal proteins will contain less phosphorus that else would cause algal blooms. Lastly, presence of some nutrients. There are nutrients which are present in animal proteins like hydroxyproline, taurine, and nucleic acid that have added value. Key areas for improvement. Future research or trials should use modern techniques such as omics, which includes lipomics, metabolomics, and proteomics, to enhance better understanding of the nutrient requirements and utilization by shrimp. This is because it provides holistic picture compared with the single dose response growth or biochemical methods. It is evident that studies on the nutritional requirement of shrimp have been skewed towards some species, such as Pacific white shrimp (Albanamae). It is therefore a critical need for a more detailed nutritional study on the unexplored species, although it is expected that the nutritional requirements of the explored species should apply to all other species. Studies on how the different nutrient compositions, experimental diets, affect the genes related to growth and immune response of shrimp should be explored in future studies. This is because now there is only little information available. Opinion.
So our opinion about this topic is that due to high demand of the fish meal as a source of protein, it will result in the high price which cause the amount of protein supply in the diet will be limited. This is not really a good choice because protein is a really important source of nutrient to the shrimp or any aquatic animal. And also vegetable protein sources cannot be replaced the fish meal because vegetable protein is limited in some aquatic animals. And then secondly, low price, feed availability, and consistent nutrient composition for protein sources is the main reason why alternative protein sources is needed. However, the replacement of protein sources can only be done with certain percentage because total replacement will cause gross loss to the shrimp and any aquatic animal. And then lastly, further studies and further investigations still need to be done because there are a lot of side effects to the shrimp that need to be investigated precisely. The success of the such investigation will result in a sustainable shrimp culture industry, which is able to meet the demand of protein for growing world population now and in the future. This table shows the reduction in the fish meal that were included in the aquafeed of different species group. So from this table, we can see that the number of fish meal percentage decreased for every species group, including marine shrimp that was shown in the blue box. So from 1995 to 2020, the fish meal that were included in the aquafeed decreased abruptly, especially in 2020. Only 8% fish meal were included in the aquafeed, means that is why alternative fish meal sources need to be supplied to the aquafeed called aquafeed so that the fish or any other shrimp or any other aquatic species will gain enough nutrient. Lastly, in the future, We hope that there will be a combined multiple protein that can be implemented to take the benefit from the complementary nutritional which allow the flexibility in the feed formulation when ingredients prices flop. And secondly, in the future, there will be a use of other feed supplements to balance the nutrient composition of the feeds to the aquatic animal. These are the references that were used in these topics. And with that, thank you so much for listening and stay safe.